What happens to rockets crashing in the ocean? It can be quite mesmerizing to watch rockets streak into the sky, leaving a trail of fire in their wake. But what happens when these gleaming beauties crash into the ocean? Rockets crashing in the ocean is always a mystery. Although they have a risky side, rockets are a common alternative for sending objects into space. There is a chance that a rocket will misfire and crash into the water. Are you interested in learning more about what occurs when rockets crash into the ocean? See this video until the end. Amazon CEOs Jeff Bezos and other dignitaries commemorated the 48th anniversary of the first lunar landing in July 1969 at a banquet on July 15, hosted by Apollo 11 moonwalker Buzz Aldrin. At the occasion, Bezos also accepted the inaugural Buzz Aldrin Space Innovation Award. Bezos' remarks at the banquet featured memories of his mission to find artifacts from the space age that were buried 3 miles, 4.8 kilometers below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. It happens rather frequently, and when they do, it has consequences. Rockets crashing into the ocean is an unfortunate occurrence. What happens to rockets crashing in the ocean will be covered in this video. Keep watching this video to the very end to learn more. Before we move on, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content. I like it. To get alerts for new videos, click the bell symbol. Did you already carry it out? Let us move forward. It's normal to see rockets crash into the water, but what happens to them afterward? They typically sink and eventually disintegrate. Some rockets can float for a while and even release bubbles. Over the years, this ecological risk has caused a few injuries, but it generally merely annoys. History. A Bezos-led research and recovery team successfully recovered several fragments of the massive Saturn V rockets from the depths of the Atlantic Ocean in 2013. These rockets launched Apollo astronauts to the moon in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Thrust chambers, fuel manifolds, gas generators, injectors, heat exchangers, turbines, and numerous other artifacts were recovered. A piece later discovered to have been saved was one of the enormous F-1 engine thrust chambers from the important Apollo 11 mission. Late in 2015, the Museum of Flight in Seattle received the first consignment of recovered artifacts from the Bezos expedition for display. Bezos claimed that the idea to try saving the Apollo machinery came to him while he was sitting in his living room. He came up with 2 key justifications for doing so. Additionally, he knew the Apollo 11 engines would only sometimes be on show at museums. In the saltwater, they are vanishing. Bezos stated his current ideas. We ought to go grab them and put them in a museum. A little study was motivated by his brainstorm. Causes of rockets crashing in the ocean. There are several reasons why rockets may crash into the water. The most frequent cause is an engine issue. The rocket may spin inertia-wise and finally lose control if the engine malfunctions. Satellite or launch system issues can also lead to rockets crashing into the water. Effects of oceanic rocket crash. The ecology may suffer serious harm from rockets crashing into the ocean since they can unleash much energy. The intensity of the explosion causes a significant disruption in the water by pushing water and debris in all directions. This can obliterate marine life and produce hazardous currents. A big wave is also produced when a rocket lands in the water. These waves have the potential to destroy coastal towns over long distances. The ecology and human populations are seriously affected by rockets crashing into the ocean. Unsafe compounds may be released into the ocean if a rocket crashes. In addition to endangering marine life, these compounds can contaminate beaches with rocket pieces. In some situations, these portions may be hazardous if consumed. Depending on where the accident occurs, there could be threats from rocket pieces in the oceans. Hazardous materials may be spilled if the accident happens too close to land. But not much else will happen. The environment could suffer significant harm if a rocket crashes into the ocean close to a beach or another inhabited area. Rocket fragments that crash into the ocean can release metals and poisons like lead and mercury. These things can contaminate beaches with garbage and be hazardous to marine life. Additionally, these materials may be toxic if consumed by either people or animals. What happens to rocket parts that crash into the ocean after a successful flight? After a successful launch, rocket pieces that land in the ocean frequently break up and are swept away by the water. As a result, fragments of the rocket may fall to the ground or be consumed by marine life. The size and makeup of the rocket will determine if any fragments cause serious injury or perhaps death. Where are spots with sunken rocket parts? The majority of space debris ends up in an ocean. That is because there are more ocean than land. The South Pacific Ocean Uninhabited Area, SPOUA, close to Point Nemo, is one of the largest target areas that mission designers will focus on. One of the Earth's poles of inaccessibility is Point Nemo. It's the planet's farthest point away from land in any direction. More than 260 spacecraft have reportedly crashed there since 1971, according to the European Space Agency. The quantity rises yearly. Point Nemo is renowned as the spacecraft cemetery, which is perhaps not unexpected. However, there are other areas in the ocean where spacecraft crash. To Point Nemo? According to Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics in Cambridge, Massachusetts, it's kind of there, but it's basically everywhere in the South Pacific between New Zealand and Chile. The punchline, according to McDowell, is that it's not particularly focused, and now more people than ever are using other spots. SpaceX lands its rocket stages to the southwest of Australia on a dividing line between the Indian Ocean and the Southern Ocean when it launches its Falcon 9 rocket. According to McDowell, this heavy-lift vehicle towers over the Long March 5 by an additional 13 meters to launch tiny Starlink satellites. There are a few locations on Earth where rockets have collided with the ocean and submerged, allowing scientists to examine them up close. In the midst of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, these locations let scientists examine the inner workings of various rocket types and how they interact with the ocean. Divers can examine a location where a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket fell in 2016 at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute's Mbari Pier 39 in California, for instance. Diverse marine animals have used the wreckage as their new habitat and now call the crash site home. Near Half Moon Bay in California, where a Russian Cosmos 954 missile fell in 2001, Mbari also has an Area 52. This location presents a rare chance to investigate chemical payloads decomposition and environmental release from rockets. There are additional places in the world, though these two are among the best renowned for researching sunken rocket parts. 2014 saw the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which had collided with SeaWorld off the coast of Australia. Marine scientists have a rare opportunity to learn what happened to the jet and its occupants after they vanished because the MH370 debris field covered more than 4 square miles, 10 square kilometers. Thanks to sunk rocket parts, scientists have a unique understanding of how and why rockets fail. They can also teach us more and offer insights into concepts for future space travel. Saturn V story from Jeff Bezos. The founder and CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, recently recalled his experience as one of the select few who saw the Saturn V launch in an interview with The New Yorker. He talked about how amazing it was to watch America's strongest rocket emerge from Cape Canaveral. What transpires when rockets crash into the ocean, however? Bezos believes that the likelihood of a rocket landing on Earth after colliding with the ocean is extremely slim. He claimed, the water merely sloshes it about. It would be like trying to fill a swimming pool with a ton of concrete. Plans to decrease rocket parts in the ocean. Reusable rockets. SpaceX is now developing a reusable rocket design to lessen the number of rockets that crash into the ocean. This might result in a 90% reduction in the number of rockets in the ocean. This is a crucial step towards lowering our environmental footprint and creating a more sustainable future, stated Elon Musk, creator and CEO of SpaceX. Reusable rocket development is also being done by the aerospace manufacturer Otto. This might fundamentally alter how rockets are utilized and significantly lessen the number of rockets that crash into the water. Usually, it's not a random event when a launch fails and a rocket plunges into the water. The aftermath of a rocket crash is frequently planned meticulously to eliminate any potential harm or shame. This is because when rockets are launched into the atmosphere, their goal is to ascend as far as they can before falling back to the Earth behind a vehicle known as a recovery vehicle. However, when rockets are sent into space, their primary objective is not to fall on Earth, but to enter orbit and to send signals back to Earth. The video for today has come to an end. If you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Remember to click the bell icon to receive notifications when new videos are posted. I'll see you in the upcoming video. Bye for now.